Hi everybody, this is MaDonna from Mad Bees Quilt and Sew, and we're back here on Monday. And as you can see, I got my blocks done. I will be honest with you, I finished them about a half an hour ago because I too procrastinated, and I'm hoping you didn't, but I'm pretty sure a few of you might have. So I've laid them out in the diagram according to the picture in the book, and I'm going to start thinking now about sewing my rows together. This is a 5x5 quilt, so it's 5 blocks across by 5 blocks down. Lots more pieces inside of there, but that's the basic layout of this. Is a 5x5, and many of the seams don't actually interlock with each other, so that is a really good thing. So when we're connecting the rail fronts across the top here, I'm going to go across the top, and connect these two together and press, and then I'm going to work across the row, and I'm going to do one row, then the next row. When I press my first row, I want to press them in one direction, and then the second row I'm going to press in the opposite direction. So by that I mean, I'm going to take this row here and sew it together, these two, sew them together, and then I'm going to sew these two together. And as you can see, this has 3 parts in it, so that means I'm going to press against that one, away from it, because I'd rather press into something that has a single seam. So we're going to head over to the sewing machine and I'll show you what I mean. And we're going to do the same with this. We're going to press to this one. So let's go put these in place. We're going to head right over there. I guess I'm bringing my chair with today. So I've got my blocks here. I'm going to line up my top corners. I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to give myself a couple of stitches to get going. So I'm just off the edge of my fabric. And into the fabric I go. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and positioned here. 1/4 of an inch, just shy of. Okay, I'm going to put my next block under. So I've stitched those couple of extra stitches there. And now I'm lining up this block.
Paula and Mackenzie say hi.
Good morning, good afternoon. Hello, Paula and Mackenzie. Is that my Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Hi, Mackenzie Baker. Oh, it helps if you take the cap off of your scissors. I'm going to trim in between. Okay, so I've got 2 sets sewn here together. And when I pop this open, I can see I have no seams on this piece. So I'm going to press to that one. On this one here, I'm going to pop it open the opposite way, and I'm going to press to that one. And what that's going to do is help this to lay down a lot flatter. If I go the opposite way and I try to push all of these seams in, it's going to automatically want to pop it up. So I'm going to take this to the ironing board and give it a press. I'll be back. You don't need to be here.
Okay. We should have hold music.
There you go. I can sing to them again.
Oh boy.
Do you want to cut Cheryl the next one, or what do you want to do?
Do you want me to help you? Does she want me to?
She's almost got a cut.
Okay, yeah, I'll cut one.
But O'Reilly is dead and really don't know it.
No.
Oh, Susan's phone.
There we go.
Okay, we're going to go back over here. Okay, so this is in our first row, and you can see I pressed to the more solid piece, so there it is there, it's sitting right nice there. This one here also went to the solid piece, and now what's going to happen really nicely is when I sew these 2 pieces together, they're going to nest together just right. See, because they'll actually fit inside of each other really perfect. I don't do this until I've done a whole row. But we have to look a little bit here because this isn't as simple as all of these are going to go that way and all of these are going to go this way because we've got lots of little pieces and things to look at and things that have already been pressed. So when I look at this row here, I can see that this one was pressed this way and this one was pressed this way. So both of these were pressed up and both of these were pressed open. Yikes. So I'm going to see which one it wants to go to. I kind of just lay it out and I sew it together and then I let it tell me which way it wants to go. And I hate to say that it makes sense, but it does. We just want to make sure that we can nest together. So I can see I've got a solid piece here, so I'm going to press to that one. This one here, then I need to go to that one. This one here, I'm going to go to this one. And it looks like we're going to be able to do all of the top row to the right-hand side and all the next row to the left-hand side. So that's what we need to do, is put all of these blocks together and make sure that we're nesting them. When we've got that done, we're going to start talking about the small inner border. And as you can see, I've laid out my inner border next to it now so I can get an idea of what it looks like. So what I want you to do for the next class is work on putting your whole quilt top together. So you're going to watch how you're going to nest those together, and then you need to measure it. So for next class, we need to have a really good measurement system. So here's what I want you to try. I want you to measure your quilt across the very center of it. So all your blocks will be sewn together. You're going to measure the middle and come up with a measurement and write it down. You're going to measure the end. Come up with a measurement and write it down. The other end, a measurement. This way, and this way, and this way. So you're going to have a total of 6 measurements. Then I want you to try one more thing. I want you to go from this corner to this corner down here in an X. And what that's going to tell us is how square we really are. Because if these 2 measurements are the same, ooh, mine are pretty close without even being sewn together. If we're pretty square, that's going to really lead to a really nice quilt. It's not going to be wonky on us. And we want to make sure that we stay as square as we possibly can. So homework again is to get all your blocks sewn together. Get me some measurements. Start writing them down. Measure center, side, side, center, side, side. And that will give you a really good set of measurements to be able to put on that inner border next time. So that was my Monday. Do I have any tips or tricks for today?
I've been told when trying to get your layout to try to take a picture of it.
Yes, pictures are wonderful for layout. We actually have a layout pattern in here, but you have many blocks that we've made, and play with the colors of them. I did. Mine actually works out to be almost in rows of colors, so you can see I have a red row, a blue row, a red row, a blue row, and it kind of works across the quilt that way. That's what I tried to do as best as I could. It's not perfect, but I think it's kind of fun. But pictures are great for being able to see things. Black and white even lets you see mistakes better. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but black and white does help for you to be able to pick out your colors and see if something is really, really strong. But that's pretty much it.
And if any of our TV viewers have any tips for how they like to lay out their quilts.
I do them a lot on the floor and then go upstairs and look down at it, because then you can see it from on top, which is an easy way to do it. But it's amazing how you catch mistakes after you've already done everything. Well, and I'm looking right now and I see that I have one star that's different. One of these things is not like the other. These are all going on the triangle in that direction.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's going in the opposite direction. So I don't know if that means you're a less friend or it's called a friendship star.
That's that one weird friend.
It's that one weird friend. And this is the correct way to do it. Or according to the book, it's the correct way. And it doesn't matter how I turn it, it's still going to be wrong. Because I have them spinning the opposite direction. So that's what happens sometimes. We who are left-handed, we have those problems. So everybody have a great Monday. It was good to see you again. Next week we do borders, and we're going to put on 2 borders, and then we'll talk about batting for a little bit. So we've got a busy week next week. Bye now. Have a great day.